All right, g'day, hi, and welcome. Tell me they're not shrinking the parking spots. Look at this, okay? So it fits. It fit, you know, just. Okay, just to give you an idea how high my vehicle is there. There was a small car that was beside it, but just to show you, there's the height of my Ram in comparison to like a normal vehicle. So like, that's about 6 inches higher. So, but look, like you can barely fit in the spots. Like it's everywhere you go, like they're making everything for smart cars, eh? So the good news is I got all my license and everything renewed. They changed it up a little, but this is the first time. I don't know what time it is now, but this is the first time. Oh my God, it's hot in here. Window down, window down. Oh, this is the first time it's taken me. I've probably been in there 2 hours. Normally it takes me 5-10 minutes tops. They didn't do appointments anymore, but they're having problems with their computer today. Fortunately, I got through it. One guy went in and they couldn't do whatever it was he had to do. I'm sure there's nobody behind me. It's a tiny, tiny little parking lot. We gotta turn. It is so packed in here today. Everybody had the same. I figured a Friday. It's not like a long weekend or anything. Oop. Let's put it in gear. Yeah, now I gotta climb that big hill. Head her home. But 460 some odd bucks later, we're gonna climb this big hill. So we've been sitting there over an hour, and it was pretty packed in there and very slow. There's like, normally it's really fast in there, but a lot of people came in from Aylmer, which is, we'll pretty much call it town. It's on the opposite side of the river of Ottawa. And they came in because it was just too, like, the motor traffic places and license bureaus in like Hull, Gatineau. Gatineau, it's not too bad because they got 3 of them there. But the one in Hull, it's the one big one, and the one in Aylmer's tiny. And the one big one, you got to do it by appointment, and it's all, not to get too, you know, politically incorrect, but it's all like diversity hires and stuff. And I'm not saying that to be mean, it just is what it is. And it's like, there's so many screw ups there. It's always been a nightmare to deal with those ones. So I never go to town, I always go here. And during the COVID thing, they were basically only by appointment, but today they're like, no, just come in. So I figured, well, it's Friday, people will be out at the cottage, whatever. I get in there and there's like 10, maybe 10 people or so, and they'd already been waiting, and I got there 9:30, whatever. I don't know what time it is now, so it's probably close to noon there now. Like, it was just really slow. So I should have done it on the Monday, but license is paid for and renewed. 24 bucks to renew my license. Normally it's 200 and something. Because of the inflation and everything like that, the Quebec government, once in a while, okay, I can complain about the Quebec government all day, every day, non-stop. I could spend a lifetime doing it. But once in a while, they'll do something that's common sense. So during the COVID thing, everybody's losing their jobs. You know, people are hurting financially. They decide to say, okay, well, the license, we'll cut it back from 200 something, you know, for your regular license down to like 24 bucks, which that's what it should be. You have to understand, like 95%, 85 or 95% of your plate renewal, your license renewal is a tax to pave roads and hospitals and stuff like that. It's a tax on a tax on a tax, right? So it's, you're taxed so many ways in Canada, it's unbelievable. So there's that. Now the plate, here's what happens with the plate. Because Brutus is pretty much, well, RIP Brutus, you know, poor Brutus, great truck. I still had a month left on him, but I canceled and put him on park, so I might get money back or something like that. because I still had like a month left. But I meant to cancel him when he broke down about a month after, and I forgot about it. So basically, he was insured for the whole year when I could have got that insurance money back and put it toward the insurance money this year for this truck, right? But it is what it is. But it was 420 something for this plus the 24. Came up 460 something. Renewal of plate, renewal of license. So I'm good for a year. And yeah, that's a lot of money in the past week. This week I spent 400 something on the whippersnipper, 400 something on this, then my rent. So it's like $1,200 in like less than a week. That really hurts me. Now I was going to try to see if I could get a little whippersnipping job done today, but it's too late in the day. I thought I'd be home like 2 hours ago, right? So I'll have to stop in late and say, sorry, I'll have to do it tomorrow. You know, this late in the day. It is what it is, right? Sometimes you win some. But the good news is by the time I get home, I'm still gonna have enough gas left over, that 80 bucks that I put into the truck, that I'm still gonna make a little bit more money off that gas, right? So that's the good news with that, is that gives me more return on investment. And gas, to me, is a cost of, like, it's a cost of doing business, right? So when you have a vehicle, whether you're going to like an office job or whatever, you got to start to think about your gas as a part of the cost of doing business, right? So every cent I put into this vehicle, I pretty much write down. So today I now have to recoup another 460 bucks from this truck, because that adds on to the cost of operation, right? So a lot of people don't add that in. They're like, oh no, well, you don't add your gas, like when you go to work, you don't add your fuel. Yes, you do. You don't add your insurance because you have to pay that anyway. Yes, you do. You always add that stuff in, because if you do not, you end up always neglecting having the money for that. Now, I had about half of what I needed, because I didn't expect to get my license renewal for another month, right? I had about half of what I needed. But just putting every day that I work, I take 20 bucks, put it for gas, 20 bucks, and I put it for repairs, stuff like this. So I had 220 that I didn't have to worry about. And then I took the other 200 and something out of money I had for my truck repairs. So now I'm on the wire. Now I still have to come up with another 120 to 140 bucks by Monday, but I have the credit card, worst case scenario, for the oil change. But I prefer just to pay it cash. It's bought, done. I don't like to use the credit card unless I necessarily have to, right? Yeah, I used it over the winter and bought myself some toys, sure, whatever. But I don't do that all the time. Haven't used the credit card in months. Hopefully I don't have to, right? Because you have to think about not the payment right now. It's the payment coming up and the payment after that. And that's where you start getting ahead, is when you forget, when you get paid, you forget you get paid as much as you get paid. You just automatically deduct your expenses, right? And if you do enough of that over time, you end up, you're always ahead on your expenses. And when you get enough to pay for what you need, you keep going. You just keep going, right? So when something comes out of the blue, you have that. You have that emergency expense. You have that emergency renewal. You're never running low on gas in the sense of, oh, geez, I made it till Friday. And I've seen so many people do this. They show up at work, you know, like their car is always on empty. And I'm like, payday comes around and they don't automatically account for, you know, having the money put aside for their gas, their rent, their whatever. Like, you take care of all your expenses first. Now, there's a saying that goes, pay yourself first. And a lot of people don't understand what that means. They don't understand what that means at all. This is a great motorcycle corner. Really bad if you're going too fast with a truck. You will fly off this corner. A lot of people die on this corner. It's sharper than it looks. But a lot of people don't understand like what pay yourself first means. And I'll explain that in the next video because we're about to hit the really bumpy stuff.